right, good evening, and thank you for coming to our board meeting. Please help me open with the Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we have the roll call?
Trustee Grimm?
Here.
Trustee Jesberger?
Present.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Fiscal officers here. Township Administrator and Superintendent of Public Works.
Here.
Chief of Fire.
Here.
Interim Chief of Police.
Here.
Okay. Assistant Chief of Police. And Code Compliance
Here.
and Public Works.
Here.
Thank you. Our next meeting is scheduled to be October 21st, 2025, held here at 999 Chambers Road at 6 p.m. At this time, I would like to make a motion to accept the agenda with flexibility. So moved.
Trustee Grimm?
Yes.
Trustee Jesberger?
Yes.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
And on to Franklin County Soil and Water Conservation District.
Hello, everybody. My name is Annabelle Spranger. I'm an urban conservation specialist with Franklin Soil and Water Conservation District. It's a big old mouthful. First of all, I want to wish you guys all happy Stormwater Awareness Week. As of this summer, the Ohio legislature has officially recognized Stormwater Awareness Week as the first week of October, so today is the very last day, and we got some stormwater for it. If you guys have interest next year about doing some PR around Stormwater Awareness Week or any events that we can kind of support you in getting out to the community, please let us know. I'm sure some of you are on the list for the PR that we send out on this as well. But we typically try to come to at least one township trustee meeting a year to give you guys an update, get a little bit of face time. And this year is particularly important because in 2026, the MS4 permit with the EPA renews, which is something that the county holds, and we help them manage that, and we help with a lot of that, and we help townships and things like that. But we like to kind of give you guys an update and go over some of the changes that'll be there. Sometimes they're a lot, and sometimes there's not a ton in there. A little joke, one of the changes that they've made this year is that stormwater is now one word, so we're gonna have to change a lot of our documents. But along with that, some of the other kind of, not big changes, but changes that we might need to do some stuff with are good housekeeping training, which is something we'll typically do with the township road departments and stuff like that, on how to control spills in shops and things like that. We already try to do that once a year with most municipalities, so we've got that covered, but that will be an updated requirement, and then they're going to start requiring that within a certain amount of time after hire, which I think might be a little bit harder. But like I said, we work with all the municipalities and townships to figure out how that works into what we already do, so no worries there. Another change is they are looking at adding some language about private salt storage. In terms of public salt storage, ODOT, township road departments, the engineers all have to store their salt covered and away from flood zones and things like that so it doesn't get into the waterways. But that was another thing they were considering. The actual updated permit with the finalized language will come out this month, and then at that point we will be doing a lot of research for a while and get ready for that renewal in April. If you guys have any questions about what we're working on, what we can provide to you guys, please let me know. But that's all I got. Yeah.
If we have a salt alarm, will you need to come inspect it?
So I don't typically do that for our office. Brooke Fresher does, who's another person on our urban conservation program. So she typically sends out reminders to you guys quarterly to be doing the quarterly inspections, and then typically they'll be sent to her.
Okay.
So I can't speak to how that process happens, like very detailed, but yes.
But either way, if it's coming in, you said April is when the new process. So then, like, how much of a time span will we have? If we just got ours, so it's brand new. I'm sure that it's fine. But how much of a time frame would we have if something needed to be fixed? Or would this be a better question?
This would be a better question for Brooke. You put me on the spot. In terms of public salt storage, so that would be ODOT, engineer, townships, municipalities. I think that was all already regulated within the permit, but one of the things they were considering is private salt storage, which that gets really, really tricky when you're talking about stuff on private property, because there's only a certain amount of access you have and ability to ask someone to do something outside of code enforcement. But for now, I think the quarterly inspections that Brooke does kind of a follow-up on that, and typically we don't see a lot that needs change, but she always has those conversations. So should be in touch with Dave and his guys if she has any concerns on that.
All your changes and stuff, the board will end up having to approve them for our sweep also.
Yes, in your stormwater management plans and things like that. So like I said, that comes out in October. One of the things that is in our contract with the county, which includes most of the townships, is doing the research on that. So we've got it. If you guys have questions, please feel free to reach out to us, but we do spend a lot of time poring over the language of the permit and making sure that, you know, what we're already doing is already covering that and trying to be a little forward focused too. So. All right. Anything else for me? All right, let me get back up to that stormwater. You guys have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now we move to the time for public comments.
I've got something. Hi, I'm trying to not give you guys my back. I'm Michael Moran. I moved in the spring over on Girard Avenue, right by University View Park, and right out my back window is the park and the playground and the courts. And the thing that's used the most is the playground, so I support all the investment you've made there. There are a lot of kids that have a lot of fun. A close second is the tennis court. And I love tennis personally, but I think it's probably close to 90% of what I see of the usage is actually for pickleball on that court. And I've grown to love pickleball as well, and there are some lines over the net, and I think that's a great addition to allow for pickleball. But I think a very small investment to add pickleball lines on either side of the net would bring some major improvements. One, a tennis net and a pickleball net are fundamentally different. You can get casual pickleball in, but it's kind of akin to playing a basketball game on a 12-foot hoop or without a backboard. It's just longer and a different height. But also, I see a lot of people waiting around on those picnic tables and park benches for the pickleball court because it is so popular. And if you added lines on either side of the net, we could double the capacity. This does present an obvious issue. There's no net for those for those two courts we put on either side of the tennis net. I have a net. I know other people who have a net. You could bring a portable one and set it up yourself. This would allow for 2 games to happen simultaneously, and people could still play on the old lines or still play tennis on the other net. But that's like a smaller ask, at least in my perception of funds. I don't know what kind of money you guys deal with, but spraying lines from my research could be like $300 to $1,000 for 2 courts total. A lot of courts with similar tennis courts that provide pickleball access, like Fancyburg or Pierce Fields, they actually have what they call semi-permanent nets. They're these big, kind of robust, can stay set out in the elements, hold up to weather, nets on wheels that can be pushed aside so tennis players can still play tennis, and then brought out to be used on those pickleball lines. And those can run from like $1,000 to $2,000. My portable net is a couple $100. I've seen parks in Reynoldsburg that keep those under lock and key, and they pull them out for people who want to use them. So I sent an email to David. I can send more emails, and I'm willing to help track down quotes on any of this. But I feel like I see that used every single day when it's warm out, right out my back window. There are tons of people playing pickleball, and we could double the capacity and make it proper pickleball with just a simple line investment. So yeah, just wanted to come and say that. Thanks. Are there any questions or thoughts on that? I don't know how this works.
They'll talk about it. You can.
What was that?
They'll talk about it with you. You don't have to stay in the presenter.
Oh, okay. Thank you. This is new to me.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. Thanks for coming.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We've talked about, Dave, we've talked about looking into revamping that. Do you know off the top of your head, what are the dimensions? Like, are you thinking about these would be 2, like exchanging the court so that it's 2, like, So that the tennis court would be split in half, and then it would be 2 sets of pickleball courts?
Yes, and so I can respond in the email with I sent like a image to David of the 2 orientations, but if you picture the tennis court, nets in the middle on either side, I believe we have room to fit a pickleball court, a standard size pickleball court, facing either perpendicular or parallel to that net. And the proper dimensions, I was trying to get some quotes for these. I got a couple people who said they'd get back to me, but the proper dimensions for the court are on the USPA Pickleball Association website, and I can send those your way. But there are plenty of tennis courts just like this that fit a court on either side of the tennis net. Yeah, exactly.
Right now, I'll strike the pickleball courts within the tennis court, correct?
Yes.
Striking.
Yes.
You get
But,
2
I mean,
courts.
that sounds like a better deal to have the 2 courts instead of the 1, and
Yeah, and actually have proper dimensions. The tennis court it's great. I'll get up and practice every morning I can out there, but I do call it practice. Anyone seeking to play proper pickleball would probably move elsewhere because it's significant, although slight difference, of
The
course.
net's the boundary lines of the pickleball court.
Yeah,
All you gotta do is just put a portable net across the edge
I've
of
been in
pickleball
contact with
courts.
one guy about going and resurfacing that.
oh, that would be the dream.
Resurface it.
That costs a lot more money. I would
I'm
love
glad I
that.
haven't done it already, because if we can go to 2 courts, it'll be the time to do it.
When's the last time you resurfaced it?
It's been a while.
For
It's been a
me.
while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
There are definitely some dead spots where.
No, there was
once-
a bunch of dead spots.
Yeah,
I used to play tennis, I know where you're at.
Yeah, both tennis and pickleball are affected by the quality of the court, but it's still a tremendous blessing to have that so close to my house. So even just getting lines painted for a few $100s would double the capacity theoretically and make it proper pickleball.
Yeah,
So,
we've talked about resurfacing that before, so.
yeah, if that
Yeah, we
would be
did it.
amazing.
I think Deb said it. I think we did it about maybe right before the COVID, Deb.
I think it's
Something like that,
happened
because
once
that's when we
since
had-
I've been here 12 years.
1999.
That was before my time. That was before my time. And just, it sounds like there's a net that stays out there all the time
Yeah,
right
we
now.
redone the
regular.
net, and that was
Tennis
for
one. Yeah.
tennis.
So if the board was to do this, they'd be paying for more stripes, which might fit well anyways with resurfacing. And we would just be adding an additional net.
Yeah.
Well,
Or
the
2.
tennis net will still be there. It's only a couple years old. Do we get 2 removable or?
I think isn't that with the pulley system, you can drop it down?
Even if you did lower the height of the tennis net, it does still extend such a long width. A big part of pickleball at a certain level is, I know this sounds very specific, is the ability to hit around the post, which is impossible with the full-size tennis net.
Right.
And that does happen pretty regularly at a certain level of pickleball. Again, it sounds picky, but people seeking to play the sport in its entirety might go elsewhere because of that reason.
What's the percentage of you seeing tennis players?
Over there? In terms of usage of tennis versus
Tennis,
pickleball?
yeah.
I feel like it's at best 20% tennis players, but maybe even closer to 10% tennis players. I see it out my back window every day.
Well, you have to say, you got the visual, so it looks like it's pickleball is overpowering it, probably, we can switch it all over.
It is the fastest growing sport in the U.S., but I love both.
No.
Yeah. I love both tennis and
No.
pickleball. So if you put lines on either side and either allow, lines are enough, people can bring their own nets, but if you even invested in, a lot of the parts, the rollaway nets, pickleball players can bring them out and then push them to the sides for whenever tennis players want to use the court. And like you said, that net still looks great. I think
The tennis net
can
stays up there all
stay.
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just playing on each side of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just net is a
Yeah.
And that's honestly
In
a
my
helpful
head.
divider between the courts so the balls don't interrupt the other games.
Would that interfere on the boundaries?
Yeah, I would, but it would be, if it's removable, or I don't even know how we would,
The
That's the only
joke,
trying to
pickleball
figure out
ones
what
would
the
be
tennis and
removable,
what
not
the
the
pickleball.
yeah.
tennis, correct?
Sorry, say it
The
again?
pickleball nets would be removable.
Yes.
but The tennis one would stay there.
Yeah, and the tennis net should not interfere with the pickleball nets if
It
you put it on
wouldn't?
either side.
I thought it might interfere with your.
No.
The
Hate to
tennis-
see somebody run into that net.
No,
Yeah.
it would be a divider between the games, actually, it would probably help.
Exactly, it's actually pretty helpful, so you don't have to run and chase balls or interrupt other people's games. Because in tennis courts that they remove entirely, which is happening in places in the city, and they
They
replace
bounce it out of the.
pickleball courts, they sometimes can fit 3-hole pickleball courts. So I think if we just put 2 in, then the net would not interfere with either of the pickleball courts.
Since we're getting into fall, what time frame would it be a good investment to do that in the next month or two, or would it something we should wait till spring to do?
I don't have the expertise in terms of, like, I know people who do sealing work. I don't know in terms of resurfacing a court if there's like a risk of temperature dropping that would delay that or affect concrete sealing. But in terms of usage, I know people who get out there and play as long, they bring snow shovels to a
Yeah.
pickleball court and are willing to play. So I don't think, I think people are willing to use it whenever. I would have to research the effects on the sealant itself.
Yeah, because whatever sealant it is, it's like it's not a hard surface, it's a
Bouncy.
pliable
Yeah.
surface, so.
Mm.
I don't know what the procedure is, if they got to come and strip that all out, fill in the cracks, then come back and put the coating on. I'll look into it. I had a guy reach out to me earlier this year about.
Okay. I just reached out to David last week, so I'm still waiting on a few responses, and I asked for quotes on just painting lines and for the entire resurfacing. The quick Google search tells me that lines are in hundreds to $1,000, where entire resurfacing could be $5,000 to $10,000. So it's a huge difference in terms of it's a factor of 10. But I was hoping they would send me that to present to you today, but I can forward that information. Or if you know a guy, that's great. I'm thrilled to hear that you're considering that. That seems like a bigger ask to me.
Yeah, my idea would be do the whole court, that way you're getting rid of the old lines. You got all this confusion with 2 more sets of lines, the lines that's
Absolutely.
there now. It'd be nice and clean and.
No, if you got 2 pickleball courts, just like he was talking about, you won't have that many people standing in line either.
Yeah, I've seen people, it's kind of a sad sight when there's multiple groups waiting. They set up on the basketball court with no nets and just hit a pickleball back and forth. They plan the time. It's hard to plan, like, oh, we play pickleball at 5 p.m. We hope, but if there's a line of 2 people, we might not be, so we have to.
Put you in charge of pickleball. and you can do
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
You know, do it on
Absolutely.
your phone, man. Do it on your
I'm
phone.
happy to. It seriously is a
Everything's on the
great,
phone
like,
now.
Yeah.
You put an app on
Michael
there.
Moran, right?
Yes, yeah, please. I'll do whatever I need to.
Pickleball
get it.
committee.
It's such a
Yeah.
great
I know.
like sport for that part.
No.
It's rare that a sport like baked into the culture is pick up play with strangers. That's just like the norm for how pickleball functions. Is you show up and hope that there's groups to rotate in with, and when there's more than one court, it fosters that even more. So yeah, I've met and made a lot of friends out there.
So it's like pick up basketball, but pick up pickleball.
Yeah, yeah.
Dave, you can go for a government grant for pickleball, wouldn't you?
That would slow the train down a lot.
More-
A lot.
My hunch is that you have a lot of support, and the board has to maintain the park anyway, so and Mr. Medley's an expert on resurfacing, so I think the timing is very good, and the only thing that the board will need to work out is just managing assets. So we're friendly with the UVCA, but what's a township item? We'll just have to figure that part out.
Okay.
So I think you should stay probably in touch with any board member, and Mr. Medley will take the quotes from you and move forward. probably.
That sounds great. Thank you.
David forwards that to me.
Yep.
Some information.
Do you think you would be able to have all the information needed for the next meeting? So we
Should be
can
able to.
vote on it?
I have, the guy who does the resurfacing is for tennis, but we will still have tennis. I think they're the ones made done the last time.
Was that total tennis?
That sounds
Scott?
right.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a call back from him, but, yeah, if you've got the connection, that sounds great.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get his email, look at it every now and then, think about it, need to get that done. I'm glad I waited, so.
You'll be running the proper pickleball working group, Michael. Yeah, all right.
All right, thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Absolutely, thanks for hearing me out.
Are there any other public comments?
Come to meet the candidates, I think you can talk to all these people tomorrow night at the park at 6:30.
Hey, look, somebody posted something on neighborhood that our voting site is not here. It's at
Are they doing it at Metro?
elementary school on
Metro?
Kenny?
Kenny? Yeah. So they're not doing a poll here at all?
No, it doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, you gotta bring that up too, 'cause a lot of people didn't know that.
Yeah,
No.
that's good to know. I'm actually working the site at
think
Metro, but I
it's-
didn't realize that was why.
Let's see what it was.
Yeah, no, I just heard from another person that the voting's gonna be at Metro.
Interesting.
And I hope we can post a sign,
That tells people to go.
because some folks will come here, so
Yes.
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
Deborah can help us post a
Henry
sign
Sherlock,
of the correct
from
location.
the,
Is that
My
from the
for?
neighborhood posted that on neighborhood.
Okay. that's good to know. I didn't
Henry
realize they
did,
were-
yeah. I saw Henry at the fire thing. You mentioned it too.
Dave, would you be able to get a, like FYI posted on the door?
We'll go right here.
Okay, perfect. Rochelle?
Are we allowed to comment, like, when they're, like, going through things, are we allowed to comment on it? Like, when people are talking about, like, code enforcement, or do we have to comment on it before they're discussed?
You would be able to comment at
Okay.
that point too. This is just if it's like a generic, I just wanted to make a comment of some sort.
Like pickleball.
Like
Okay,
people.
cool, thank you.
Right.
Any other public comments? Okay. On to the fiscal officer.
Seek a motion to approve the bills.
So moved?
Second?
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Trustee Jessberger?
Yes.
Trustee Grimm?
Yes.
Seek a motion to approve payroll.
So,
So moved?
second?
Trustee Grimm?
Yes.
Trustee Jessberger?
Yes.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Seek a motion to approve the July 1st meeting minutes.
So moved?
Second?
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Trustee Jessberger?
Yes.
Trustee Grimm?
Abstain?
And seek a motion to approve the May 6th meeting minutes.
So moved?
Second?
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Trustee Jessberger?
Yes.
Trustee Grimm?
Abstain?
And then I didn't have it on the agenda, but I'd like to do the August fiscal report as well. And I provided a copy for the board because it's a more exciting than usual fiscal report because the second half real estate posted. So it's just a nice way to see under that revenue column, because like fire, police, and roads, the majority of their money comes in just twice a year. So August 1st, the township had an overall fund balance of $11,254,168.17. Revenue in the month of August was $2,038,433.18. Expenditures in the month of August was $527,371.14, leaving us with an overall fund balance of $12,233,21. Sorry, 21 cents, yeah.
You can write the minutes.
Thank you. And most of the September fiscal information is in, so the department heads have been busy getting ready for our budget working group. So I was very close to being able to reconcile September, but didn't quite get that done. But we'll do that at the next meeting in October. So I seek a motion to approve the August fiscal report.
So moved?
Second?
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Trustee Jessberger?
Yes.
Trustee Grimm?
Yes.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Committee and team reports, the chat with Chief Freeland.
So for September, the free produce markets, we had 12 pallets of food that was distributed to about 849 individuals. Our next free market will be this Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. 3820 Cleveland Avenue. We held 2 movie nights in the month of September. The 5th and 19th, both were well attended. Everyone seemed to enjoy the time. Several resources were there. And also in recognition of Domestic Violence Month, we're going to be conducting a free women's self-defense class on October 25th at 3820 Cleveland Avenue, starting at 1 p.m.
Let's see, beautification work group.
For you?
Beautification, we met, the judges did a week ago Saturday. We had votes. I have the first, second, and third place winners here, and I'll distribute those so everybody can kind of peruse through them. I need to get these actually onto our website. They were posted on Facebook, social media last month. The winners were announced. Carol, I'll start with you if you want to check those out. I know you've already seen most of them. So all that information was pushed out. We had the Lewises who took first place along with Rochelle last year. Rochelle got honorable mention this year.
I forgot to submit my photos.
The Lewis, well, based upon the before pictures, they were very impressive. The Lewises took first place again, and you'll see why. Then we also had a new entry, someone who's never entered before, Anita Glasgow. She got second. She lives on Melrose. And then our third place winner is Nashwan Peng, which a lot of people here know. She attends a lot of events. She's an artist, and she has a very impressive landscape and yard. And so we got all the winners pushed out. We are looking forward to November 18th, which is our second meeting in November, to do the actual recognition ceremony, which is the same time we did it last year. And then we are currently soliciting donations for first, second, and third place awards to go along with those recognitions at that ceremony. Any questions on that? All right. So again, those are on our Facebook page and on our website for the winners. So if you didn't sign up this year, you can do it next year. Keep an eye out in April.
Thank you. Budget work group?
As it says on the agenda, we're having our budget work group meeting on October 15th at 3 o'clock, 3820 Cleveland. The department heads will be presenting their budgets for next year, and we'll discuss that at that time.
Awesome. The 999 Chambers work group?
From the last meeting, we just kind of get together, trying to get some numbers, what it costs to operate this facility throughout the year. I think our next meeting will be like 5 o'clock before our next township board meeting at 21st?
Yes.
Yeah.
On the 21st. Once we get some things hammered out in detail, we may open up to the public to come in for public comments and stuff too. Right now, we're just trying to get some things organized.
Do you guys have anything to add?
Just like, it's dangerous to brainstorm when you want to do public comments. It's maybe Deborah could help with a social media post, like a survey, like top 3 things to do with the building. That's maybe just down the road, but I really like surveys on Facebook. But people might answer those who don't even live in the township too. So
That's always a fair, you don't know where they're coming from.
I think that's even something we could distribute in the neighborhood specifically, like in Google form with a QR code and flyers, like fill this out.
I wouldn't want to just limit it to here. I would want to do
Yeah, we could do
everybody in the
inside
township,
too.
but yeah, it's a good idea.
Just like a simple, so we can target like residents, filling it out, just for like gauging interest for use and types of use.
Rochelle?
Is the, when you open it up for public comment, is that when you're going to be presenting the plans of different options to do here? Or, because I read in minutes that there was consideration of possibly selling this property. That was in the minutes.
So that was squashed. That's not something that this board is interested in.
And it was,
I can't
Okay.
speak to what future boards are gonna do, but this board it has to be a unanimous, and I definitely am not interested in selling this building. I don't know what the future holds, because that's, again, if I'm not on that board, then
Sure.
that would be a decision at a future time. I think right now, mainly what we've been trying to do is negotiate the building use policy, and that's kind of why it's closed right now, but then once that gets established and signed, then I think we want to open it up to the idea of what it's going to look like in the future.
where are we on that room use? I thought we agreed on it months ago.
Yeah, we got one
Go
implemented.
ahead and come to the
It's
21st.
implemented, but there is, a couple things we need to address is how the people's going to pay for the use of it, because we don't want a cash policy, we don't have a cash policy. Whether we're going to do deposits, how do we collect deposit, how do we give it back to someone. There's a lot of issues with how to handle the money. We do have something in place, but it's going to get tweaked here. It will be tweaked.
Can we try to get that done by the end of the year?
Yes.
Because we know
2 years right now.
the prices is $25 for a resident to rent out the room, $100 for non-resident to rent out the room. We're going to have an employee there at the beginning to do an inspection, walk through with them, and an employee there at the end. I don't know whether them rates are suitable for paying staff members to do this. And that's something we need to look at too, and decide what or we're just going to eat the cost of it. But there is a policy in place that somebody wanted to rent out the little room in there, it can be done in the community room at 3820. So it is in place.
I know that this has always been a hot topic, but on Sunday at the fire event here, a resident asked about the possibility of the UBCA having access again to the front part at least. I told him that I was not sure what the plan was.
Well, that's what we talked about.
We're talking about that in the building group, work group also, because there's got to be insurance in place like that, and
Okay.
Morgan's looking into that.
Yeah, we
and
can
trying to
figure
get-
out if we're insured as
Yeah,
a
we
civic
gotta find
association
out
for
the
events, so we don't.
Overhead cost or what's.
Because Nick, Ghana, you said it very quickly, a meeting on this side this year, that the UBCA used to have some sort of insurance policy. Probably didn't cost a lot of money, but it's some
At
paperwork.
one time, yeah, when I was the president, we had money, well, it's kind of funny about now, but we used to have a good amount of money bringing spaghetti work, the festivals and stuff like that, money in there. We used to pay our own insurance at one time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's
I
really.
don't know what our situation now, you was talking to Morgan, we don't have, I don't think we got the
I
funds
don't know
to
if
do
we
it.
had one. I couldn't find any documentation from Bobby that we had a policy in the last 10 years.
No, after
I'm thinking it.
after 2019, everything fizzled.
Whatever, so
Yeah.
that's just where this kind of came from. It's just
Yeah.
really insurance. I'm glad to hear UBCA used to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, once we get those two things married
Yeah,
up,
between 2006, when I was the president, between 2006 and 2016, we had insurance, that went back a little bit. We did the playground stuff and everything else,
Yeah. So
That
after
we were hooked with your type of insurance that,
so after we get that matched up with administration, probably the UBCA can have access, but
Absolutely.
we just got to get that insurance into that.
yeah.
And it's with any organization that wants to use that space, they're going to have to show the liability insurance and stuff too,
Sure.
Yeah.
because they're an organization.
Before we move on, does anybody notice any major
Flora looks
changes?
great.
Yeah, you guys are so excited. We done that. There used to be a drain. For everyone this is their first time here, there used to be a drain that was going through the middle of this because this is the fire bay, and then we just recently had this put in with concrete. So we're really excited. So excited you guys get to see it here. Good times. And small things in life. Rebecca gets really excited about really small things. So, any other questions about this building? Thank you.
On to administration.
Okay, I submitted my August report since we had one less meeting last month, so we're a month behind on the report. So I'll do the August report at this one. We had Cornell Concrete, they done a catch basin, redone a catch basin on Lamont Avenue near Vance's Outdoors. It was collapsing in, so got that corrected. And also met with Cornell Concrete about the project over here, as everyone sees it is filled and done. I met with Jamie Gentry, David Clark, and Tom Mulder with Watershed Distillery to discuss concerns they're having within their building and stuff, and installing a crosswalk for the employees and patrons there. And the board approved paying for that crosswalk, so that's been installed
Chambers, or where is that?
on Chambers.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I had a meeting with Swaco about the recycling carts, the totes. They had one of their employees left, and it took them a while to get that back in the swing of things. And they're hoping to get them pushed out to the residents by November. That is the grant we applied for through Swaco, where the township put funds to purchase recycling totes for all the residents. And we'll get rid of the 18-gallon bins that we use right now that's open. So this will be promote a little bit more recycling stuff for everyone and help the environment. And that's all I had for the report. The next I have a request resolution to adopt a cyber security policy for the township. And I sent them out to the board.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Trustee Jesberger?
Yes.
Trustee Graham?
Yes.
Next, I have the reminder township office will close October 13th for observing Columbus Day and
Indigenous.
Indigenous Peoples Day. And that's all I have.
Thank you.
I have a question. Where are we on distributing the handbook and emailing it out to employees and getting that taken care of?
The handbook, we done some changes today after I spoke with the FO office about some credit card policies. Then we actually had to wait until because the cyber security policy will be part of it too. So we got it passed. There's only 2 items.
Okay. Good.
And I sent them out to Julie today.
So probably by the end of the month, you think?
Well, I hope, yeah,
Okay,
but
good.
probably next meeting.
Okay,
Yeah, the
good.
board has to approve it before.
Right, yeah, that's why I was asking.
Like I said, I nailed down some figures
Okay.
today with the credit card policy and wait for Julie's response to that, and we'll move forward.
I just have one other thing. As it came up in August, I'm wondering if, I guess, Jess, what do you consider the roles of the chair?
The roles of the chair.
Yeah.
Let's see. The individual who's the chair leads the meetings. They are the point of contact in the event of an emergency. If there needs to be a decision immediately, the department heads know to get a hold of the chair. They can make the call about, how would we put it?
Inclement weather.
Yeah, inclement weather. They are supposed to attend the Franklin County Health Department yearly meeting for the District Advisory Council
That's
purposes.
the thing you and I were at?
Mhm.
Okay.
And then they don't have to, but it's strongly encouraged that they attend the township quarterly meetings, or the one that's coming up in November.
Oh, yep, okay.
Let's see, what else?
Usually sign the letter of support
Mhm.
for the board. Anything that the board votes on, approves, or supports.
Looking for information.
Okay. Chief Fraley with Fire.
I'll have the August and September monthly reports at our next meeting. Going on to number 2, we'd like to request a motion to accept the Ohio Department of Public Safety Training and Equipment Grant for $2,707.74.
So moved.
Second?
Trustee Graham?
Yes.
Trustee Jesberger? Trustee Clark?
Yes.
And just a reminder to everybody, our second fire prevention open house is this coming Saturday, the 11th, from noon to 4 at 3820 Cleveland Avenue. Fire safety information, Fun activities for kids. We're also offering free flu shots there from OSU. Food and drink will all be offered. And again, that's new for 3820 Cleveland Avenue. And that's all we have.
Did you say that was on Saturday?
Yes.
I got my flu shot. I'm ready for the holidays.
Assistant Chief Nicole?
All right. I'm going to give you the September stats. Do not have all the total calls for service for the police department was 561. We had responded to 7 shots fired, 1 stabbing, 3 robberies, 11 stolen vehicles. And once again, our domestic violence stats were pretty high, 27 domestic violence calls. That concludes our stats for September. On the budget, we're going to request a seat transfer for the police department by $250,000.
So moved.
Second?
Trustee Graham?
Yes.
Trustee Jessberger?
Yes.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
We want flexibility on number 4. Myself and Dan are going to tag team this. He's got a little more information that's come to light today. So he's got a lot more detail on some issues that need to be handled in regards to parking in and around the township. But he got some good information today that's going to help us solve a lot of those problems. So with flexibility, I'll defer that to him. Also, flexibility on 1025, we're going to have a block watch at 3820 Cleveland Avenue. It's going to be led by Lisa Austin Jones. She's spearheading this. She lives on Audrey Road. Has a lot of people interested in starting up a block watch program again. So we're going to go ahead and meet with her, I believe, at noon for 1 hour. Deborah's going to be pushing some more information out on this on Facebook. Maybe get some interest. Sergeant Reeves, I put him in charge of this, so he will be there to answer any questions and to work with the community to see if we can get something up and running. If we can gain traction, we can, expand it to other parts of the township, which is always great. More eyes and ears we have around the township, the better. Makes for a safer environment. We just scheduled another blood drive. Our blood drive was so successful last month. We're going to do the same thing. I think it's going to be a police against fire, something to that effect again. And that's been scheduled for December 16th, 3820 Cleveland Avenue.
Who won?
I'm sorry?
Who won?
I believe we won.
Police did win.
I believe, no, I don't want to say it, but I believe we won. By one. So we'll see what we can do again. But I know the lady reached out today and she was super excited to have us back again. And so we went ahead and picked a date. We all decided on December 16th. We'll make that happen. This past month we had Coffee with a Cop that was hosted by Target. They have a new manager over there. Her name is Jade. She took over for Mike Wolf, who was a longtime employee of Target who worked hand in hand with us. He was in the loss prevention side. She's taken over for him. She's been doing all kinds of great things, but she also included for once Grandview Police Department because we've been working a lot with them. Lennox, when we can't get over here fast enough, Grandview's been helping out. Perfect. It's been a great, it's really been working well together. So that went well, and that's all we have.
Thank you. Public Works?
So I have the monthly report for August, so September with me. The crew checked 27,060 pounds of brush in the month of August. The crew has continued to maintain alleys, and it's still an ongoing process. All of Ward Alley, all of Zell, and all of Case has been cleared of brush and pushed back. There may still be some overgrown grass that's all going to get moved back down and then cut. We had to cut down the brush first to be able to see what we were cutting and make sure we didn't mess up our equipment. And then just a friendly reminder that brush season has concluded. This was the last week of that. Next week we'll begin our leaf collection. Just a couple reminders. When you're putting out a pile, please be sure to remove the brush, any trash, or any debris that might be in the pile. Don't mess up our machines. We have little machines. We don't want to be down and then postpone our leaf collection. And then if there are any drains or like sewer drains or anything, we don't pile over it. It will cause that drain to clog over time, and we don't want that. That's all I have for you today.
Yeah. Code enforcement?
I'm going to start off with where Assistant Chief McCoy left off with the parking issue. I recently received some information from Mifflin Township, who worked out a situation where they were addressing commercial parking on their public roadways and the easements that are belonging to the township. So they sent over the resolution that they put in place. They sent over the no parking signs, explained everything that was necessary in order to put that into place. It also works with the court system downtown because it would make it a citable offense that the police division, upon finding vehicles parked in the roadway or in the easement, they could be cited and then they'd have to go answer in court for it. So there's some moving parts that need to be put together with that. I have a copy of a resolution that we need to have our legal people take a look at to make sure that it would function for what we want to do. Recently, we've had a lot of problems with a particular trailer on Andre that's been sitting on the roadway. Myself and Deputy Chief researched the Ohio Revised Code. There's nothing in there that covers what we're dealing with that particular trailer. My previous employment with Upper Arlington, they had a specific codified ordinance that the city had passed with regards to that allowed the police department to take enforcement. So that's what we're looking at now, something that would allow them to take enforcement action for that specific problem. And this would also cover, we have people that have semi-tractors that they bring home. They're not allowed to have those on their private property. It's not allowed in the urban area. And the easements have been an area where we'll see a semi there, but we can't take enforcement. This would allow us to make them remove those. We had one on Ferris Road that was parked there, and when people were backing out of their driveway and things, they couldn't see the roadway, so it was creating a hazard condition for that. So it's not just for this trailer, it'll be for a lot of these other vehicles that we've had problems with in the past, and allow us some enforcement action. And we don't necessarily have to take enforcement action, but if we have a law behind us that says, we'll do this, and then they understand that the consequences of not moving it, that goes a long ways towards, hey, can you move this for us? And we'd appreciate it. And they're like, yeah, thanks for stopping by and talking with us. So it'll give us an option for that. So that's what we're going to be working on. Hopefully we'll have something pretty soon for that. I submitted the monthly report to you guys. I just wanted to hit the highlight of the one property in particular. Was one that we worked on for 22 months in order to get it cleaned up. And at the end of all that, we actually were able to remove 52 vehicles from the property. 40 of those vehicles were crushed on site, so they could stack them up and get rid of them. There were only 12 of those vehicles that they were able to take and salvage. And one person came in, a group came in, they bought all the vehicles, they cleaned all the property up. So that's the first time in probably 20 years that anybody's even seen this property. It's been a lot that had a fence around it. They've still got a little bit left to do, but they know what they need to do. Now that it's been adjudicated, if they go back to doing what they did before, they would be in contempt of court. And at that point, they could be fined $200 a day if they don't clean it up, and or the property could be foreclosed on and taken away from the current owners. So that was a big plus for us. I also mentioned in here that I've had 2 different residents come forward from the University View area with regards to rats. One of them was on Kenny Road. A guy found several dead rats on his property, which was concerning. How did they die? Was somebody poisoning them? He's a pet owner. The other person I spoke with also owns a pet, and he found 3 rats on his property. Then there was another individual I spoke with. I said, have you had a rat problem? He goes, yeah. He goes, we were going out in the morning, and we were noticing that there were rats climbing up our sunflowers and eating the sunflowers. So the first thing they did was immediately cut the sunflowers down. I have reached out to the Department of Public Health, and I hope to have that for this meeting to ask for literature and guidelines on how to help prevent rats in neighborhoods and things. I know from Dave and I's personal experience, if we have overgrown lots, the rats like those big overgrown areas, it allows them to nest. If you have problems like with grocery stores around the area that don't maintain their garbage cans and keep them secure, that they'll find feed areas, which is
hopefully some of the information that I'm going to get from Franklin County. So I'm aware of it. I'm trying to figure out the best course of action, and then we're going to talk with Deborah about getting information out on Facebook and also out through our website on how to prevent that. And if you see those things, give us a call and let us know. I don't know of any specific property in the area that I think would be a problem where they're going there because it's trash and things. I know that there's apartment buildings in the area that sometimes there are problems with that. We had to address a real big problem with the apartment building next door here where, they were throwing everything out and it was bad. It was bleeding over onto another private property next door that was on the township. So we are aware of those issues and we are trying to address those as quickly as we can.
I have a quick question. So let's say, I don't know the rules behind composting, but let's say, you have composting and you don't have a top on it. Your compost is in a backyard, so it's behind a fence.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you're bringing in rats and you have, so.
There's some guidelines with regards to that Public Health is going to provide me, and I'm glad you mentioned that because composting was one of the issues that when people start composting, they're opening up a feeding source for possums and raccoons, and we've had a problem with that before where I tried talking with the neighbor about, hey, you need to cover this up. They weren't covering up their compost.
Exactly.
And so that was creating an issue. So I talked to Franklin County zoning about that, and there's nothing that prevents them from having that. So we have to look at public health and see what kind of guidelines they have and what we could do to try to tell them you have to do it a certain way. So I'm familiar with that. I don't have a specific answer for it, but it's hopefully some of the information that public health will give me. I actually talked to their director who handles all the inspectors for the entire Franklin County area. She was supposed to give me that information, but I know she's been busy. They've had a couple conferences and things. So as soon as I get some information on that, I'll be happy to share it. And if you like, by the end of the meeting, I'll give you my cell phone number for the township, and we can talk more about that at length if you'd like to.
Okay, and then a follow-up question on the parking. How does this ordinance affect inoperable vehicles that are parked in people's lawns and/or operable vehicles that keep being parked into people's lawns?
And I won't address any of that because we already have a resolution through Franklin County that covers that. When you have inoperable vehicles, you only allowed to have one inoperable vehicle on your property, and it has to be screened, as in it's behind a fence or it's in a garage.
Okay.
It can't be seen. And then when they're parking on unimproved surfaces, they're not allowed to do that either. And that's a violation of Franklin County zoning resolution already in place. So when I see vehicles that are parked on yards, I take the photos and we can send out letters. We have a problem with a lot of properties over here because they're rental properties. And there are multiple people that are living in these units, 3 or 4 people, and they're parking there. It's also been some congestion issues on the roadways around the area, which they're required through the police department to get their parking tags and things like that to allow for them to do it correctly. So when I see those, I will send letters and or call the property owners, the renters. A lot of times are doing these things and the property owner doesn't know it, but then we'll notify them and tell them so they can, hey, you can't do that. You can't park your vehicles here. I just ran into that 2 weeks ago over here with a vehicle in a yard. So that happens frequently. It also happens frequently on the other side of town as well. But there's already things in place for that. If I don't see it, please, reach out and make me aware of it, and we will address it correctly.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that is all I have.
Awesome, thank you. Community affairs?
Newsletters, leadership, you have copies of the newsletters. I sent out the final draft today. It's going to go to print on Friday. Residents, you should have your fall and winter newsletter before Halloween. Veterans Day is November 11th. We're actually closed that day. I'm putting together a program at Veterans Park, like we traditionally do to honor the veterans. I'm still working on obtaining an honor card. The gentleman that we got from AMVETS a couple years ago can no longer do it for a variety of reasons. They kind of aged out, if that's politically correct. And then the youngsters that we had from the ROTC program, they've already committed, from Ohio State's program last year, they've already committed to another ceremony. So I'm still feverishly trying to find an organization that can attend and perform at our Veterans Day ceremony, 10:45 on November 11th. And make sure you stay tuned to Facebook. Follow us on Facebook, Clinton Township, Franklin County, and our website, clintontownship.org. October Fire Prevention Month. It's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's several other months, one of them being Pedestrian Awareness Month, which ties in perfectly with the completion of our Cleveland Avenue project. I know most of you don't really frequent Cleveland Avenue, a couple of you do, but we're super excited about having this completed. And we're also upcoming going to be creating a new initiative for safe streets. So that's something that we're going to probably be developing here within the next couple months, and then keep pushing out information regarding keeping the neighborhood streets. So again, that's kind of under development at this time. Dave already mentioned the recycling bins. I'm super excited about that. Again, it'll tie in perfectly with our beautification project, the same with the Cleveland Avenue project. It's just a total transformation for the township as far as it going from total extremes, from one end of the spectrum to the complete other end. We have trees planted in the medians. We have a lot of new curbs, sidewalks, big banners that say, "Welcome to Clinton Township." We've arrived. So I'm super excited about that. So we've been pushing that information out, and we're going to have it in the newsletter as well. I did want to touch base on, Dan, you mentioned something about people poisoning, and I'll get with you offline too. Poisoning the rats. There's been some chatter on my private neighborhood Facebook group that I'm a member of, that I kind of, listen to what they're talking about. And they just posted something about, I couldn't get through the article because once they said poisoning, and it wasn't rats, other animals were involved. So that's disconcerting. So just an FYI on that. Website launch, we pushed that back till the end of the month. Just a lot of activities and a lot of colliding initiatives going on for me during this month, so I've had to juggle. I had to push that back to the end of the month because there's a lot of behind the scenes activities that I need to do that I wasn't aware of or prepared for, that's going to be extra time consuming, so that certain individuals in our separate departments can have the appropriate permissions to go in and edit, upload documents specific to their own department. So I'm needing to get that, along with several other activities behind the scenes, developed. So we're going to have a new website coming the end of the month, and I'm super excited about that too. So a lot of great things going on. My universe, just taking a lot of time to get it all wrapped up. And I think that's all I have. Thank you. What did you say? 4. Oh, Trick or Treat's October 30th. I posted something on Facebook. Thanks, Dave.
Is that 6 to 8? Is it
6 to 8, yes. 6 to 8. We're going to have the fire trucks are going to be stationed around certain streets. Again, I'll do another couple posts before Halloween. I noticed some people put Halloween stuff out like a month and a half ago. I'm like, wait, it's not even October yet. So we're going to be doing that. Fire trucks, and then police, of course, will be with their safety patrols, handing out candy as well. So it'll be fun.
And
hopefully
I think,
it won't be soggy like tonight.
And I was going to say, I'll reach out to you guys about the Halloween party potentially if you want to park or be around. I think we had help last year with the fire pit. I think we will be doing that on Halloween night as well, like we have in the past. So I'll get some info about that out soon, and I'll connect with you guys on it. So.
I'm trying to get the electric upgraded over there too.
Yes.
Yes. You get it upgraded?
That'd be great.
It's voted approved and waiting on the electrician.
Okay. I know one time we got it upgraded and it looked like it was never upgraded. Put a hot candy machine on it and blew everything.
Thank you for that, Deborah. And do we have any appreciations?
I have an appreciation. I want to recognize Omar and appreciate Omar. He's relatively new in his new interim crew leader role. I've noticed that he's operating at a very high-speed capacity, and he takes initiative, and he just kind of hit the ground running right out of the gate. He's very responsive to any and all my requests. I only have to typically ask once, and it's done immediately, so I really appreciate that. So I want to appreciate Omar.
I second that.
Omar too, because the residents of the circle have noticed, I think since you started managing that crew, the lines when they cut the grass are so darn straight. And I know there's a couple people, who I guess I really appreciate the attention to detail and how much you care that shows in your work. So thank you for doing that.
Any other appreciations? All right. At this time, I would like to make a motion to enter into executive session pursuant to ORC 121.22G8 to consider negotiations with other political subdivisions respecting requests for economic development assistance regarding information that is directly related to a request for economic development assistance that is to be provided or administered pursuant to ORC 3735.67 to 3735.70. The executive session is necessary to protect the interest of the applicant or the possible investment or expenditure of public funds to be made in connection with the economic development project.
Yeah, you memorized that pretty good.
Thanks for turning.
Then you can take a
Second.
breath.
Back to next.
Trustee Grimm?
Yes.
Trustee Jess?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Trustee Jess Berger and Trustee Clark.
Yes.
That was a mouthful.
Meeting adjourned.
I had my phone, but I had to put it in place.